And to me, that has to be a glaring reason as to why you found that success long term.
In contrary to what I've learned from some of the veterans, that, your first phone call should not be that long and you should just take, basic information and stuff. On the contrary, my first phone call is typically 30 to 45 minutes long. But by the end of that call, I have all their information, their kids, their pets' names. I mean, if they're immigrants, where they originally belong to, which city were they from back then, what is their background back home, educational background, university and all that stuff. And I'm from Indian community, and 80% of my clients are Indian, By the end of our conversation, we usually have a common connection. And that takes you a long way. You made a connection beyond profession, beyond mortgages, This is one thing that I feel make your relationships stronger and go further. And of course, giving them a white glove service all through the way. Last but not the least is, even if you cannot provide the solution, make sure that they get it. I mean, that's the reason, thanks to you guys that you have introduced us to non-channel lenders. I have made some connections and lenders that we don't have access to that can make exceptions that I know of, fortunately. So, if I cannot find anything in our channel, I say, okay, I'm going to get you this mortgage, because that at least makes one person's, hey, that's realtor, right? If a realtor sends me a client, even if the realtor doesn't send me a client, what I've loved about doing this is that I make very strong relationship with the realtor. I don't tell you to the client, I'm not making any money. I don't, because it's none of their business whether I'm making money or not, right? Because I'm not telling them how much money I'm making. I don't tell the client. I tell the realtor, I say, hey, I got it done from a bank or a lender beyond our channel, but I did not make any money, but I'm happy that at least you are making money. That way, not only I make that relationship, I make relationship with the realtors as well. And believe you me, all my out of province relationships are through realtors only, one or the other way. They love me for that. They send the client to me and say, okay, Anil, we know if you cannot get it done, it's unlikely, because you won't just stop at broker channel. You'll think beyond that as well.
Well, I think there's a lot of key points you made there. I mean, how many brokers are going the extra mile like you are to really understanding the client, who they are, what they're doing, where they're looking to go. And then back to what you were saying before too about, the client who they found you was their dream. I think you said it was on the 6th lender or so that you ended up getting the approval, right? How many brokers are actually going that deep as opposed to giving up after they've gone through 2 or 3 declines, right? You're going forward and you're still pushing and you're trying to get that deal done. And the client knowing how much you care is going to get them to stick with you the entire way. So, to me, you're one of the most consistent, high producing brokers in the industry in general, not just with A Better Way. And to me, that has to be a glaring reason as to why you found that success long term.